My title is Poetry in Ceremonies of Loss, Healing, and Humanhood. When Charlotte sent me this title, I was really struck by the use of the word humanhood. What do we mean by humanhood? And why put that word in a talk about funeral and healing ceremonies? Why in this segment and not another one? This, believe it or not, occupied my mind for the better part of a week. And the more I thought about it, the more sense it made. What is our humanhood? Here's what I believe it is. It is our ability to think about ourselves thinking. It is our ability to wonder and to ask questions and to imagine, to feel awe and profound joy, and the most acute loss and grief. It is our ability to look at our fellow humans and to know that in the most important way, we are in this together. And it is our ability to inspire each other. Sometimes when we listen to another person speak, we catch fire. An idea takes hold inside of us, and we become passionate about something. As celebrants, we are always trying to touch the humanhood in the people who attend our ceremonies. It is not enough for us to deliver a speech, even a very good speech, or to tell a story, even a very beautiful story. Our aim is to touch the hearts and the souls of the people present and to have those hearts and souls open to each other. We want to help them experience the event, the moment, the ritual, in all of its deepest and richest meanings. We want to engage the spirit, to touch it, and to join those spirits in celebration of the event. We use many things to do this. Our words, our tone of voice, how we organize the event. We add music and ritual and readings and poetry, always chosen to deepen the experience of those who are there. And when we do touch the hearts of those people, they do share in their humanhood. Nowhere, I believe, is this more critical to accomplish than in funeral and end-of-life ceremonies. Why do I say this? I say this because it is at these ceremonies that we are speaking to people who are in the most acute pain of loss and grief. Often they are surrounded by well-wishers who mean well but are nervous and uncomfortable being in the presence of death and of profound grief. And what happens to us as human beings when we feel the worst pain we can feel? We feel totally enveloped by that pain. It fills every fiber and every cell of our bodies, every thought and feeling that we have. And it is almost impossible for us to imagine that we will ever feel happy again. And we feel alone. That pain creates a wall around us. We feel separated from life and from other people. So one of my goals when I write a funeral ceremony is to touch the humanhood in the people who are there. I want to pierce that bubble of isolation the grieving are in. I want to talk about, in my words, in readings, and in poetry, the unanswerable questions that people ask. What is this life all about? What happens after we die? What do I want my own life to mean? How can I make the most of my life? How can I reaffirm my commitment to the people that I love? I want to remind them that we are all together in this life and that none of us knows for sure what happens after life as we know it here ends. I want them to feel the spirit within them, however it works for them, that does know that there is something bigger than ourselves that we cannot comprehend. It's not necessary to give people the answers as if I knew them or you knew them anyway. It is in the sharing of the questions that we join in our humanhood. And I am not trying to cheer people up. My goal is to remind them that one of the things that is true about life for all of us is that wonderful things happen and awful things happen. The point is to be able to see the beauty and feel the love even in the presence of pain. Poetry has the wonderful ability to crystallize meaning, to present an idea in all of its meanings, and often to touch hearts in the way that our more normal speaking might not do. A poem needs to be chosen to highlight and enhance a point you want to make, and never just to fill a space in a ceremony. A good poem is one that resonates with meaning beyond the actual words. The listener hears the words, and somehow they strike chords within that person that continue to echo and ripple throughout consciousness. As we write our ceremony, we set the stage for the poem to do its work. We create an atmosphere. We engage the guests. We speak of ideas which build the foundation for the poem. And when the poem is actually read, it seems like an inevitable and perfect statement about the message we are conveying. And so it is this purpose, to penetrate that wall of sorrow and grief, to touch the spirits of the people who grieve, and to create a bond of humanhood that joins all who are present, that I believe gives poetry a very special place in ceremonies of loss and healing. Thank you.